speaking to me now is West Wales fighter Angelo Dragone. Dragone, yeah, got the name right this time. You wanted this fight, you wanted the Welsh title fight against Kristian Touze, you got the fight.
Yeah.
How's the training going?
Yeah, training's going great. Like you said, I think the fight's been talked about for 9 months now. I think in our interview in the MTK show, I made the statement that I want the fight. And it's taken 9 months, we're finally here now, and training's going good. I've had some great sparring all over the place really. Been up at the Peacock Gym, London, I've been up Birmingham, all around Swansea and Cardiff, sparring in Guy Locke's gym as well. So again, some good rounds in with some good boxers, like good pros.
Sorry, if you just pull a chair, touch this way, please, mate. Can you mentioned you sparring in Birmingham and Peacock's gym and of course Gary Lockett's gym. Could you just tell us some of the fighters you've been sparring with?
Yeah, he's sparring likes of Larry Ekenduo. He's a IBF European champion, a great fighter. I went to John Pegg's gym in Birmingham, sparred Louis Norman and a few other Birmingham pros up there. I've been doing a few rounds with Rhys Edwards, Jake Tinklen, sparring Jay Harris later this afternoon as well. So a good mix of styles really, and obviously James Lilly as well. He's lately come on board to our stable. So again, some good rounds of good experienced pros, like, you know.
How important is good sparring to developing a fighter like yourself?
Yes, very important, to be honest. This is probably the most rounds I've done in a training camp, to be honest. Obviously, a 10-round fight now. We've got to be up in my preparations and getting as much rounds as possible with different fighters, different experiences. So it's bringing me on well.
You're fighting Kristian Touze, another Swansea boxer, for the Welsh title. A very anticipated fight. There's been a lot of talk about it on Welsh boxing podcasts and also on different Facebook groups. It's a fight that sort of captured the imagination.
Yeah.
What type of fighter is Kristian? What's he bring to the table?
He's two opposite styles really, but it's going to be a good clash of styles. Like, he's a southpaw slick, a bit of a back foot counter puncher, I guess. I'm more aggressive, come forward fighter. But I kind of neglect my boxing skills there because I've been working really hard on my boxing skills over the last like six months. And I feel like you're going to see a new Angelo Dragone on fight night, so be prepared.
Are there weaknesses that yourself and your team are targeting in Kristian's style and the way he fights?
I don't really want to give too much away. Like, to be honest, I know we've got a game plan. I've got a good team now with Richie Garner, and I've got a new trainer on board as well, Jason Hughes, who's we've got a game plan for the night, and we're looking forward to executing it.
This fight is going to be live on S4C across the nation.
Yeah.
Does that put extra pressure on yourself? No, I think probably your first fight on television, am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I've done obviously the MTK show and all that, but this is proper live, and it's obviously main event. There's going to be other additional pressure, but all my supporters there, like I thrive on the pressure, and obviously fighting on televised TV, like, I'm just going to enjoy the pressure and just use it as extra energy really.
And there's going to be pressure on me as well, because I think I'm going to be doing the commentary on it, and I got to make sure I get the name right.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a complete balls up of it on Welsh television.
Keep on do.
You're without blowing wind up your backside, you're a very popular boxer in West Wales, and you're very good getting yourself out there, doing interviews like with myself and different. I know you've been on a podcast last night, the Ambition is Critical podcast.
Yeah, I've been on a few podcasts. I've been on James Lilly's Lights Out podcast, Ambition is Critical. You do, like, as a pro boxer, you got to put yourself out there, and I do spend a lot of time on social media and like interviews with papers, and it does help with ticket sales, and it's the most important thing for professional boxing on the business sense, Right,
I'm going to ask you a real tough question now, and I don't need to sit on the fence on this one, okay? No pressure.
Here we go.
There's a rivalry I've noticed now between Turn the Lights Out podcast and the AIC podcast. They're both Swansea-based podcasts. You've been on both of them. I have listened to both of them. Which is the best of the two podcasts?
Oh, that's right on the fence, that is. No, they both do a good job. They're both different in their both ways as well. Like, obviously last time talking about more football, Swans, and different sports and stuff like that. Lily was talking a bit of Yeah, they're doing a swear on camera, like. But no, they're both good, and it's great for exposure, and I can't thank them both enough. So they're great.
Yeah, jokes aside, they're both great podcasts, and they give good publicity, and they are a good laugh to listen to.
Yeah.
You mentioned the fight there. It's going to be yourself from Carmarthen, Kristian Touze from Swansea, so we can expect a great atmosphere in Swansea on the night.
I've done really well on tickets for this fight, like, and I can't thank everyone enough who's bought the ticket. It's going to be over 200 Stallion fans there, and I know Kristian sells a lot of tickets as well, so it's going to be a great atmosphere when that first bell goes for the main event for the Welsh title. Like, looking forward.
Have you and Kristian sparred in the past together or trained together?
No, we haven't crossed paths before. We haven't sparred before, been in the same gym and stuff. So even though I box as an amateur in Swansea, like, we just didn't cross paths. Like, so, yeah.
You mentioned the tickets there. Are the tickets still available if there's any fans watching this want to get a ticket for the show?
Yeah, very limited left now on tickets, like, so I've got to hopefully can get my hands on a few more, because I know the demand is really high. Everyone wants to see the fight. Yeah, like I said, I can't thank everyone who's bought the ticket and come out to support me, so thank you.
I mean, that's not something that happens very often. I think that's a credit to you, the fact you're able to shift so many tickets, because one big problem that Welsh boxers have generally is selling tickets.
Yeah.
But you seem to be able to shift a lot of tickets.
Yeah, like I said, you've got to put yourself out there, like, on social media. I know it's annoying, like, posting, like, but, you know, it does help, like, and it does, you know, people do take interest, and obviously I'm getting a lot of support. I work in the gym now, Robert Davis gym, you know, from Carmarthen. I train in Swansea, so, like, my profile's raising in different areas as well, so there's little pockets of people coming along, and it just, you know, the crowds go up, and, you know, so.
And I believe you do personal training as well to supplement your boxing income?
Yeah, well, if you talked to me 6 months ago, if you remember, I was a milkman, wasn't I? So I was working for my father on the milk dairy. Obviously, I did start to go part-time because the boxing was getting more serious and it was getting more, obviously, busier. And then obviously I had this Welsh title fight come up, and so I've been lucky to put that to one side for a minute and concentrate on the fight and go full-time boxing. So, which is not every boxer is able to do that, you know. So.
And I believe you've got quite a few sponsors as well. You want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone who sponsors me, even from day one. Like new and old sponsors, they've all played their part. Whether it's supplements, whether it's fuel for the car, medicals is a yearly cost for a professional boxer, and yeah, it all adds up, like, to be honest. So if I can thank everyone who sponsored me, thank you all.
Do you want to just give them a name, your sponsors?
Actually, I've got my list on me today, so I'll bring it with me fight night so I can thank them. I'll have my top on as well. So, but you all know who you are. Thank you.
So just to round things up, you fight in Swansea in the LC2,
yeah.
the Welsh title, live on S4C. It's going to be a packed crowd. What type of fight can the fans expect from yourself and Kristian?
Yeah, obviously, it's a Welsh title fight. You know, I'm going to do everything in my possibility to win that fight, and I'm sure he will. So, you know, it's a great clash in styles. You know, as you said, we're both big ticket sellers. There's going to be a great atmosphere, and I'm just going to bring my game and give my all, and it's going to bring me home with the win on the night.